We're going to be restarting with the third edition of the EV and AutoTech Innovation Forum. And we are now heading towards the highly anticipated fireside chat. But before I do so, at least the ones in the room, can I please request you to be seated so that our speakers can be called upon? So just one final request. Also, anybody in the room who has already done a hashtag till now, is there a social media enthusiast? Anybody yet? I feel we're still going to catch it up in the coming few sessions. We'd urge the media team as well, which is present, and the delegates to continue with the hashtag and get to know one another better. On that note, let's move on to our fireside chat, focusing on a theme that lies at the heart of our industry's revolution. What do we talk about? Well, ecosystem development and value enhancement of connected mobility. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming our speakers on stage. Mr. Mohan Raju, Vice President and Vertical Head, IoT, Jio Platforms, in conversation with Mr. Mohit Sharma, Senior Research Analyst, Automotive, Counterpoint. Can we have both our speakers join us on stage? And ladies and gentlemen, let's give Mr. Mohit and Mr. Mohan a big, big round of applause as we welcome them. Come on, the fewer in number, but the mightier the applause can be. Thank you so much. And with that, we'd request our dignitaries to please stay seated. Can we have the creative in the background so that they can know their placements, if that's okay? I'm assuming, can we have a creative? Or it's going to be like this? Perfect. Thank you. Mohan? Mohit, thank you.
Check. So good afternoon, everyone. I would like to thank EV and AutoTech for giving me this opportunity, along with Mr. Mohan Raju, who is the Vice President and Vertical Head of IoT at Jio Platforms, to discuss the ecosystem enhancement and value development and the mobility space, connected mobility. And I think all of you are refreshed and energized. So in the next 30 minutes, we will talk about our ecosystem evolution and what Jio is doing in bringing up this connectivity services to India, what's beyond that. So before I going into the question mode, I just wanted to set the stage with some data figures. So in India, one of the key striking point is that India is leading the mobile data consumption on an average. So an Indian consumes around more than 20 GB per month of data. And if you look at the internet connectivity penetration has crossed around more than 70%. But when you translate this into the automotive industry, the connected cars penetration is quite less. Our data shows that in 2024, only 37% of the cars had the inbuilt connectivity, embedded connectivity. But if you go one layer deeper, and you see that out of those 37%, majority of the cars sold had basic telematics or connectivity features. Only very less, around 20% of the cars sold had this personalized, customer-centric features. And we know that the current Indian market scenario is going through the transformational phase. And we are seeing a lot of technologies coming into the market, the connectivity services. Last year, I was one of the event, and you announced this car-to-home services as well, which shows the spectrum that we have in the connectivity. And someone who is so close to the industry and who has seen the industry evolving over the last decade or so up closely, Mr. Mohan, I would like to ask you, what top changes you have observed in the last decade in the connected vehicle space?
Yeah, thanks, Mohit, for setting a crisp context. Uh, uh, Obviously, when I talk about the connected vehicle ecosystem, in the last 6 years, especially, connected vehicles getting launched from 2019, around that time, say 6 odd years. Uh, this has been a rapidly evolving ecosystem, yeah, where vehicles are not just equipped with basic connectivity, but are equipped with sophisticated cloud platforms and applications which are enabling the car users like you and me who drive the cars every day to interact with our ecosystem, right? Like interacting with, say, your home from your car, or your office, or say as simple as your music playlists, or say your shopping lists right from the car, right? Today, as an example, we all listen to the music from our phone. And when you open the same Spotify in your car, it's a different library. It's a completely different thing. Why can't these two things be synced? But yeah, these are the parameters or consumer behaviors which are coming to surface as a rapid evolution, I would say in a short span of 6 or 7 years in India. Also, the customer today is seeking a more intuitive interaction with the car, right? Today, behaviors like speaking to your car, right, has become a de facto expectation, right? And Mohit rightly mentioned a statistic. We as consumers, you and me are the same consumer who's driving the car, owning a car. You and me are the same consumer who's consuming not just 20 GB, but today the number is around 32 GB. We are the highest data consumption country around the world. Jio as a telco is the world's largest telco in terms of data consumption, right? So just imagine, we are consuming the same data on the phone, on the tablet, on the laptop, at home, on the TV, on a broadband, not on the car. 37%, thanks to EV adoption, the numbers have gone up. But again, that's for basic connectivity, right? So look at this scenario, right? This is the rapidly evolving landscape where the customer and the consumer is ready. However, the ecosystem is catching up, right? So it's a lost economic opportunity in my view, and that's what is actually getting bridged. While it'll be difficult to pinpoint the top parameters in terms of the changes, however, broadly if we look at it from the OEM perspective and the end customer perspective, as I iterated, end customer is still the most ready. He's spending, he's ready to consume data on the car, he's ready to listen to the same playlist on the car as he's doing on his phone. On the OEM side, obviously there's been a rapid evolution, right, in terms of the readiness of the car with sophisticated electronics, hardware and software, and also the OEM perspective themselves, where when in the initial days of the launch, the connected option was an optional feature. It was positioned as a premium product offering, and to the same customer who was consuming GBs of data, world's highest data. So why is that? So that's rapidly evolving. The OEM himself is running marathons to bridge this gap, because car today is increasingly becoming a platform and a lifestyle platform where you can interact, you meaning people like you and me, can interact with our environment, right? So that's the fastest change happening. The second biggest, I would say, is the evolution of the ecosystem. Everybody now realizes that simply a car OEM or a music application guy alone or a OTT guy alone cannot make this experience happen. If we are to get this experience to the customer, and the customer is getting this experience to the customer, we all have to come together. So that's where the priority for ecosystem partnerships is rapidly accelerating. That's the second point to your question, Mohit. And the third, I would say, India is very unique. That's again a very interesting observation for all of us sitting right here in India. Lot of innovations are coming which are giving solutions to traditional problems. You know what? Around the world, for a decade, I heard that customer doesn't renew the subscription. India में भी आप पूछो तो बोलते हैं customer renew नहीं करता है. Customer is consuming, but हम value दे रहे हैं क्या? Indian customer is one of the most demanding customer, like you and me. We are demanding, of course. If I get the value, I'll pay. Otherwise, I'll not pay, right? Yeah. So it's as simple as that. But today, innovations are coming which are never seen around the world. For example, bundling the connectivity. Today, OEMs used to bundle for like 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. Bundle it for a period of 15 years. What is happening in EV batteries? Lifetime warranties. Same principles. How much does it take? 15 years bundle, 5,000 rupees extra. Is the customer questioning? No. But yeah, these are again never seen around the world. Car as a platform is also increasingly promoted so that whatever can be monetized, as I say, in-car monetization. I'll talk about it more as we go, if time permits. But today, increasingly, OEMs, ecosystem players are wanting to leverage the customer propensity to monetize so that there's no need for customer to spend money from his pocket or OEM from his pocket to recharge the car, right? It's a simple phenomena today. We have been using, Google's, Gmail, everybody who's monetizing our data. But did you ever get a penny back from what monetization was delivered? Answer is no. But if a fraction of that comes to you as, hey, this is a gift for you to renew your subscription, or say, pay for your charging or pay for your parking, wouldn't that be a delight? These are possible scenarios. It's just a matter of seeing it from a different perspective. But yes, Mohit, to answer your question, these are some of the rapidly evolving changes in a span of 6 years, I would say, which is evolving in the connected car ecosystem.
So thanks, Mohan, nicely put. But I would like to share one data point that previously also one of the panelists has mentioned and that you have also touched upon, that even the global makers and outside India, the renewal subscription of the connected packages is quite low. The industry average is around 10 to 15%. It varies depending on the automaker. But like you said, are we giving the value to the customers? So, and putting into the Indian context, like Indians are very tech savvy, and we are one of the leading countries of the early adopters of the technology, right? We have seen a shift from going kitna deti hai to kya features in the car, right? And one of these evolutions, if you put the drivers, consumer preferences or behavior is one of these. So, I mean, you have touched upon this fact in the last question, but what key features that the Indian consumers is looking in the connected service, apart from the basic telematics, what the Indian consumers want that we create the value for the Indian consumers, if you can talk about that.
Sure. So, of course, from a connected car, as you said, basic services like location of the car, dot on the map, state of charge, state of health, and all that is given. Very basic expectations there. But beyond that, obviously, there are very interesting facts that are coming to table as we intensify this, journey of connected car ecosystem. One of the thing is, real-time location-based utilization, right? For example, we are driving, to a mall, right? Today, we would like to know, most of the times, especially in Mumbai, when I go on a Sunday in the peak time, the mall parking is full. So many times it happens that I go to the mall and then drive out to another mall. But the mall has a system of telling how many parkings are free. The missing link is the mall parking app and the car app are not connected. But if you connect it, it's a real-time location-based intelligence, right? Which can tell you whether you should go to the mall or not, right? This is basic, but these are kind of features which the customer is expecting. Another example is like, while we're driving from, say, any point A to point B, and you're crossing a Starbucks, 500 meters prior to this, if the car tells you there's a Starbucks ahead because you like Starbucks, and if you like to stop by, if the Starbucks can push a coupon real time onto your car, it'll be a delight, isn't it? Today, we all receive coupons, but we receive on our SMS and email. When you actually go, we don't even refer the coupon, right? But these are real-time services which are of high perceived value, right? That's the second layer. The third, I would say, is the customer experience, in-car customer experience, as I was mentioning earlier. Today, the consumer wants to interact with the car more seamlessly, right? No longer while driving you have to touch the thing. He likes to talk to the car, right? And in Indian languages, that's another trend that's catching up. While here the behaviors are very different, people sitting in this room, working professionals today, we have one preference. You'll be amazed to see how the new generation, which is the college-going category today, perceives in-car experiences. And it'll be even amazing to see how a 9-year or a 10-year-old perceives car experience, right? But yeah, these are intuitive experiences which the customer is seeking more and more. That's in demand, right? And fourth, obviously, somehow he's open to monetize the car, right? It's as simple as a token from the OEM that, hey, we pay for your charging this month as a customer delight experience, or we pay for your parking this month in these malls. wouldn't we all be delighted if our car OEM gives you that kind of a experience? Answer is yes. It costs a little, right? Maybe 500 rupees a month, but it has a very high perceived value. And question is, can we monetize that 500 rupees out of your car usage? Answer is clearly yes. What is the missing link? The ecosystem readiness, which is what is rapidly evolving. Yeah. So I would say these are some of the top experiences that the customers are seeking. Again, as I said, I don't look at people like you and me to define the car experiences of future. But yes, when you talk to a college-going guy or a 9-year, 10-year-old, 12-year-old boy, that's where the customer experience is getting defined, in-car experience. So I personally do a lot of research around this to develop my own products as a part of my role in Jio, but that's the landscape today.
So, yeah. I mean, so what I can gather from this is like to create a value, we need a more personalized experience, which can cater to for each generation. And one of the anecdote I would like to share is like I was talking to this Neo guy from Europe. And this Neo has pushed out this karaoke function in China, right? And they wanted to introduce in Europe, which is not that kind of market, but they still pushed it. And he was a product manager of the digital cockpit. And he was quite amazed to see that since he said it's not for Mayati, but whenever my kids is traveling in the car, he loves to do karaoke. So that has changed the thinking of, and that's why when you see how you, in the European market, the Chinese are excelling well because they are the ones who are addressing those different needs of the consumers, right? But if I could, and for the audience, if you could tell us like how Jio is playing the role of technological enabler across the, moving beyond the telematics or the simple connectivity services, right? And creating the value across the ecosystem, not just for OEMs, but maybe for fleet operators, or like I said, I mentioned consumers. So if you could touch upon like what Jio is doing in the, for different partners or something that you can touch upon.
Yeah, sure. So in my responsibility to evolve the automotive ecosystem in India, I've been looking at various ways to innovate and disrupt the Indian market, which can be seen as an example around the world, not just in India. But yes, in this journey, what we are doing is, obviously, first is a connected car needs a lot of tech stack, as we all say in the technology parlance. So we are building, end-to-end stack. When I say a stack, IoT stack, a hardware which goes into a car or somewhere, right, like a telematics unit or a infotainment cluster for a cost-sensitive two-wheeler market in India, or a charger, right, for the new age EV vehicles, a charger or a charging infrastructure equipment. So we have been investing heavily around building made in India hardware. That's the first layer. The second part is the connectivity layer, a superior 5G connectivity, right, across the country, 4G and 5G. So that's where we have our own networks. And we have been collaborating very extensively with partners like MediaTek, who's right here, to build cutting edge hardware, to work on seamless connectivity, right? We are open for collaborations with colleagues like Vistion, Santosh is sitting right here. But yeah, we are open to collaborations in these spaces. And obviously the cloud platforms, as you can see, I spoke about cloud platforms to power in-car experiences. And a sample of that, you can see my team with, the Jio Auto app suite on display there. There we are bringing all the applications today, like you and me use, into a car environment, right? It could be as simple as a Jio Savan from where you listen to your music, to a Jio Hotstar, right, that you watch on your set-top box at home. We are all bringing this into a car environment, right? These bundle of services is called as Jio Auto App Suite. It's not just one application, but it's a collection of applications forming a suite in collaboration with our partners like MediaTek and future partners like Vistion or anybody else that we find value in. We are doing this entire build-up, right? The entire stack. The second big thing that we are doing is we are investing heavily on voice recognition, right? Our product is called as Hello Jio, right? It's a voice recognition. Today, I'm sure some of you or most of you sitting in this room would use a Jio set-top box as your television set-top box at your homes. And if you bought a set-top box post October 2024, chances are that you use your TV through your voice recognition. You can talk to your remote in Hindi, in Gujarati, in Tamil, in Bengali, right? And you can still change the channel. Now that consumption is going very high. So we have taken this stack and put it into vehicles. The MG car that's standing outside, you can talk to that car in about how many? 12 languages today, and only increasing. And 12 Indian languages. And I'm not talking of voice recognition, which talks in American accent that we all know about. I'm not naming the brand, nothing against anything. But we have to speak in our own language. I don't want to say, how are you, yeah? I just need kemcho in Gujarati, period. That's what customers relate to, right? But yes, we are investing heavily in the voice recognition. The other part that we are doing is we are connecting the ecosystems. Like today you have a Hello Jio on your set-top box, and you have a Hello Jio in your car. For example, if you see the MG Windsor. Now today you can actually control your Windsor sitting right at your home, right? Because you have a Hello Jio in your set-top box at home, and you have a Hello Jio in MG. So while watching your evening news at home, you want to check the state of charge of Windsor, which is in your basement. You just say, hey MG, sitting at your couch, nothing doing. The TV will display you the charge in the Windsor right on your TV. You want to switch on the charging, you can say, hey MG, please switch on the charging. And the car starts charging right in your basement. And believe me, no opening the app, no touch, no selection. Isn't it exciting? How many of you think this is a cool feature? If people, yeah, I like the response. Just look at it. I am simply delighted. But this, let me tell you, from my stable is just a pilot project, right? And that's the response I'm finding exactly from Indian consumers, right? Yes, this is a second aspect, right? Voice recognition. The third thing I'm investing heavily as Jio is the monetization part of it, right? Today, when you and me are driving, let me simplify this further, forget the tech and all that. Today, we all watch IPL, right? Whenever there's a match, we all get glued to our TVs, invite friends, and enjoy the time. On that, there's a lot of monetization that's happening on the ads, correct? Now, that is powered by a platform called Jio Ads. And some of you who are tracking the media industry would be aware what Jio did to the media industry. It turned the tables just on one IPL season, right? Everybody said for IPL you have to subscribe, and Jio said, hey, IPL is free. Agree? All of us last year started watching IPL for free. And who paid for this? It's the monetization that paid for it. Nobody else made that kind of a revenue on IPL by charging as Jio did in one season in terms of revenue from one IPL season. But yes, this is the underlying part. I'm trying to get this to the automotive world. Hopefully, you and me should be able to earn some money while driving our car by virtue of innovative in-car monetization powered by Jio Ads. This is yet to be launched. But yes, you and me should be able to generate some revenue which can pay for our charge or which can pay for, your whatever you would like to. So let's hope for the best. But this is the third thing that I'm investing in. And yeah, so these are some of the things that we are doing as Jio, yeah, to talk about it a little bit.
So, so I was just wanted to share this one. So, I mean, the car has been becoming a more of an extent of a living space, right? And I was before coming to, I've come from Jaipur, and I was just wanted to how heavy traffic it is in Pune, and I come across this very different statistics which says that in 2023 the average Punekar drove 256 hours in the traffic. So the amount of time we spend in the car is almost equal to what we spend in, and that's why it has become the extended living space. And this is where I think that we don't have to look at the car just as a car, but as a more of an extended living space where we have all those features where a consumer can also goes through the consume the data through OTT apps and do personalizations and all those things. And I got the signal that we have to wrap this up. But one last question that I would like to touch upon, and you have briefly talked about, is the partnership that you have done. But how significantly do you see the role of partnerships and how critical they are for the successful ecosystem? If you can briefly touch upon that. Like, what is the role of partnership from Jio perspective to scale the connectivity, mobility in India for success?
No, sure. I think as I iterated earlier, obviously the essence and the strength of this entire value that we can take to the customer relies on the partnerships to build the ecosystem. Without partnerships, we can't deliver this value to the customer. We'll still remain where we were, or the challenges that we spoke about. But yes, we all have to collaborate together, right? To make it happen. And as Jio, we are happy to collaborate. We ourselves are building a very strong ecosystem. As most of you know, we connect 490 plus mobile phones in the country, 15 million set-top boxes. So we are there in your phones, we are there in your home, we are there in your car, right? From an automotive perspective. So we are happy to extend our investments to partner with somebody who brings in a value and thereby join forces to be able to deliver the value to the end customer on a connected car, right? And very rightly highlighted, increasingly we are spending more and more time in the car. And obviously car is a platform today for us to interact with our external environment, as I was mentioning in the beginning. But yes, it's this needs no explanation, Mohit. The essence of this entire value delivery is partnerships-based ecosystem.
Yeah.
That's all I would have to say.
I mean, innovation cannot happen in silos, right? You need partners and collaborators.
It's not a one-man game. If anyone thinks as an OEM, as a tier one, if as you as a company, right? If we think we can make it happen alone, I'm sorry to say, but we are grossly wrong, right? It's a partnership-driven world to deliver value. If you don't do it, somebody else will do it.
Yeah.
That's why you saw. I was very happy to see the Xiaomi car launch. 290,000 some odd bookings in 24 hours. Did any OEM who operated for a century get this kind of bookings? No. Is Xiaomi OEM? No. Did he get the bookings? Yes. Why? So that is food for thought for all of us. If we don't think differently, we are never going to succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And India I'm a firm believer, India is a potential hotbed for us to solve complex problems and show it to the world. Let's not copy what somebody else has done. Innovation, the opportunity to innovate by virtue of partnerships, if there's an opportunity around the world, it's India.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, just like what food for thought, and I would also bring again the example of Europe again. Legacy automakers never thought that they were used to live in Germany, and when we talked about the Chinese cars, the Germans used to make fun of the build quality and everything, right? But they have improved. They hired the BMW's chief staffs and all those things. They improved the quality, and they have went into a totally different direction of the automotive industry. And that's, if you don't do it, someone else will do it. There is no waiting game for in the automotive industry at the moment. Everything comes for the first, and you have to understand the consumer pulse to come into the market. So, I mean, just one last question, and I feel that this question is very important because no event is fulfilled without asking this question and this topic. And I think most of you guess it's Gen AI. No event is complete without discussing Gen AI in the context. And I'm pretty sure that every one of us is using Gen AI in our day-to-day life in some sort of tools, right? And Indians being very tech savvy. So I just wanted to quickly gather your thoughts on how do you see the emergence of AI and Gen AI into the Indian ecosystem context. I know that Hello Jio is using indigenous LLM model. So if you can talk about like what is Jio doing in bringing the Gen AI in the future for the automotive market and for the voice assistant or something like this.
Sure, I think that's a very elaborate question. You should have asked me that first. But yeah, in the interest of time, we are getting signals to speed up because in the interest of time. But yes, I think AI, as we all know, is inevitable and is the next big frontier. It's exactly the same as when internet came into existence, 95, 96. It's going to be more powerful than that kind of a revolution. However, yeah, what does it mean for us today? Now today, as Jio, okay, let me give specific examples in the interest of time. You mentioned about Hello Jio, right? Today, you can actually talk to your car or hear your car in the favorite person's language. You can actually use your language or your wife's language, right? To actually, program the car to talk to you in, his or her language. How is that possible? You just load in a voice sample and the car programs itself to speak to you in that particular language. Now that's generative AI, right? This is one example. Especially in the auto sector, a lot of OEM operations can be made more intelligent and automated, especially inbound and outbound calling, things like booking a service, booking a test drive, and making CRM-based calls for your next upgrade of the car. So all these are today data-driven, but however, there's a lot of human intelligence that's required to curate the effectiveness. With AI, this gets more goes to a next level of automation, thereby saving a lot of productive time, and we can use the human bandwidth for some other tasks that go. And I'm sure all of you have seen the examples of how when you talk to an AI app, it converses back to you. It's as close as a real human interaction, right? With no iota of doubt around the intelligence of conversation that's coming back to you. But yes, that's what I'll have to say in the interest of time. But yes, this is a little bit on what we are doing.
Thanks, Rahul. And I just wanted to save the best for the last, and that's why I asked this question in the end. So thanks, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you, Mohit.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, a bigger round of applause for both our speakers. Thank you for joining us. Please allow me an opportunity to call upon Rahul Sindwani, the CEO of Connect, to please join us on stage and help us with a token of appreciation for both our dignitaries present. Of course, a big thank you once again to Mr. Mohan Raju and Mr. Mohit Sharma. Mohan, firstly if you could request you to please step forward, allow us an opportunity to capture you in one frame. Such excellent insights from Mr. Mohan Raju, Vice President and Vertical Head IoT, Jio Platforms. Thank you once again for joining us, Mohan. We'd also like to humbly thank Mr. Mohit for curating such a well-rounded conversation. Let's give him a warmer round of applause. Mr. Mohit Sharma, Senior Research Analyst, Automotive, Counterpoint, who are also the knowledge partners of today. May we request the three of you to please come together, allow us an opportunity to capture you all in one frame. And if you've enjoyed that conversation, I'd encourage you to give them a warmer round of applause, please.